cyclists, don't leave home without one, but do helmets actually keep us safe? From the time the training wheels come off, we're taught wearing a helmet is essential to protecting our noggin. But a couple of Sydney academics reckon it's time to give helmets the flick. According to their research, since compulsory helmet laws came in 20 years ago, we haven't actually seen a significant drop in the number of head injuries. But not everyone is convinced.
For cyclists who are involved in a crash, they're likely to have a less severe head injury if they've got a bike helmet on than if they don't.
While our pedal-pushing pollies promote cycling for health reasons, there's no doubt many potential riders are turned off by wearing a helmet. So is a helmet simply a fact of cycling life, or is it time we ditch the headgear for good?
And one woman who has thrown her helmet away is Sue Abbott, who joins us now from Sydney. Welcome, Sue. Now, you haven't worn a helmet for 46 years. You've recently had a conviction quashed in court for not wearing one. We all have to wear one. How come you're above the law?
Well, you're right. No one should be above the law, and I'm certainly not above the law. And when I was booked by the policeman on that fateful night when I was heading out for dinner, I decided that I would follow the procedure on the back of the infringement notice and take it to court, as is my right.
And I was just going to say, can you explain? You actually believe that helmets could cause greater injury, is that right?
Well, I believe there's a lot of evidence out in the public domain that actually questions whether helmets provide the protection that they're promoted to. And on my review, I actually have looked at the rotational injuries that are suggested that might happen, and I've decided that on a civil liberties issue as well as the therapeutic grounds that it should be a matter for choice, and at this stage we don't have that choice, and that's what I'm campaigning for.
Sue, come on, be honest with us. Is this something to do with helmet hair?
I know, it's hilarious. Everybody asks me that. But I have to say, for me, it's not a helmet thing. Nothing would squash my hair. Seriously. It really wouldn't.
Now, so
but I do. It's a valid reason. No, it really is. It's a valid reason. A lot of girls would say that they don't want to spoil their hair, and some, certain religions don't want the hair thing happening either, and they can't wear a helmet because of perhaps other reasons to do with their religion.
So I have to ask you, though, you say that it's a matter of choice, but if you opt out of wearing a helmet, are you happy to forgo, say, public-funded healthcare if you do suffer a head injury because you weren't wearing a helmet?
But that's not how our system is. I mean, we don't have those sort of strict rules and regulations.
No, but we do, Sue. We do. The government pays for your healthcare, and they set the rules for you to get that. And they set the rules and said you have to wear a helmet. That is literally how it works.
But we don't have that for issues which arise in the public healthcare system for obesity or for alcohol or whatever. I mean, that's not how our public health system works. And again, arguably, helmet laws have completely deterred cyclists, but they haven't reduced the rate of injuries. And I think, it should be a matter for choice. At this stage, it's still in the experimental stage. It's a medical experiment or a scientific experiment, and I have a right, if I want to participate in that, to give my informed consent, and I don't.
So you say that it hasn't reduced the number of accidents, but as a cyclist, I cycle to work every day. I've come off a number of times and hit my head and not had an injury because of a helmet, but I don't go down to the hospital and say, hey guys, I'm perfectly fine thanks to my helmet, so it doesn't register as a statistic. All it means is I don't have brain damage and I'm going to keep riding to work.
Well, the problem, again, with helmets is that there's a risk behaviour attached to wearing one. So once you pop one on your head, you think you're a little bit more protected, you've got this armour on you, and you think you can perhaps carry on in a more cavalier way. The argument is that utility cycling, which has completely gone out the window with helmet laws, has just been completely decreased because of that factor. And when I'm popping to the shops for milk, or I'm doing my grocery shopping, or whatever it is, I don't need a helmet. And it should be a matter for choice. I'm not against helmets per se. I think it's lovely you wear one. My husband loves his helmet. But I should have the choice. It really is a matter for choice. I don't give my informed consent to this experiment. In fact, I give the counter my informed refusal.
Well, Sue, your thoughts have certainly got us fired up in here tonight, but we do appreciate you talking to us tonight. Thank you.
Oh, it's a pleasure.